I'm going to go ahead and start this hearing. I don't see Councilwoman Clark yet. She told me she was logging on. Let me see if she's on yet. And no, I don't see her yet. Well, we got enough to start. Welcome to City Council Chambers. I'm Councilman Stokes, the Vice Chair of Labor. I'd like to introduce the members of the Labor Committee who are in attendance. Councilwoman Sneed is going to be absent today, and she is the chair. I'm the Vice Chair, Councilman Stokes. I see Councilwoman McCray. Am I correct? You on, Councilwoman McCray?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We have Councilman Henry, a member of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We have Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, member of the committee.
Thank you, sir.
I see representing the mayor's office. I see Matthew Stegman.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. From the President Scott's office, we have Dominic McAlley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Did I miss anybody? Because I'm looking. Maybe I don't have it all on my computer. If I miss somebody, could. And we have Sam Johnson, who is the committee. He chairs this particular labor committee. Sam?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here.
Okay, so I'm just go ahead and start. I'm gonna just do an opening statement. And the reason why y'all don't see me on here, because I'm out here giving away 75 boxes of food to my seniors down at Pleasant View Gardens, and this was already scheduled, so I was juggling all this. So good afternoon, committee. I am Councilman Stokes. I'm the vice chair of this committee and members of the citizens of Baltimore. As the sponsor of this bill, 19-0418, banning discrimination on hair texture and protective hairstyles. I'm honored to stand against discrimination of any kind, but be able to peel back another layer of discrimination through this bill. It will afford the city an opportunity to stop this type of discrimination that impedes a person from their hair right to express their cultural pride in the workplace. This bill is another step towards stamping out discrimination in Baltimore altogether. I look forward to hearing the public testimony on this matter as we seek to eradicate this type of discrimination in the workplace and offer some protection to those citizens who face it. So, Sam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can move forward. I mean, did I miss anybody that I introduced that now that's back on this call? Because I don't see anybody else.
No, sir. We can move to agency reports, and first up is the Law Department. Lane DePietro is on.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon, Councilman and members of the committee. So the Law Department has reviewed this bill, and I mean the upshot is we find no reason to seek amendment or have any problems with it. Oops, sorry about that. Shut off my phone. And we would approve the bill for form and legal sufficiency. Hello? Anybody there? Hello?
Man, we can hear you.
Okay, so we don't have any, like I said, we had no problems with the bill. It's consistent with things that are happening in other cities and areas of the country and in the federal government as well. So we are supportive.
Hold on. Thank you, Elena. Next, the Department of Human Resources, Kimberly Humphrey.
Okay.
Everyone can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So the Department of Human Resources is supportive. We did have one recommendation that there perhaps be more prescriptive language with regard to the definition of a protective hairstyle. But we are primarily just sensitive to the maintenance of a professional standard, but we are supportive of this bill. So we stand by everything that we've submitted.
Thank you, Ms. Humphreys. Next, we have the Office of Civil Rights, Equity and Civil Rights. Mr. McCray, you can go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone on the committee. At this point in time, the Office of Equity and Civil Rights is in full agreement of this legislation. We found that there are various municipalities and governmental organizations that have enacted similar legislation as it relates to protection of hair. The EEOC states that the texture of hair is a protected class, but we would also encourage that styles of hair may be included in the legislation, and that would probably make it a little bit more easier for complainants and folks to file complaints with our agency. We would still have to go through the process of investigating the cases, and it may be difficult to find that there was some form of discrimination, but we think that if it is listed hairstyles and or texture, that we would probably have a more success in finding issues of discrimination within the Baltimore City. But thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. McCray. Do any of the committee members have any questions for any of the agency representatives?
I'm good.
I'm good too. Thank you.
Chair and to the committee, this is Matt Stegman from the mayor's office. I just wanted to add one thing. There was similar legislation to this that was introduced during the General Assembly session back in the spring, and the Baltimore City Administration did submit testimony on that statewide bill in favor. So appreciate Councilman Stokes bringing this forward at the local level.
Thanks, Matt. Is there any public testimony? If so, please use the raise hand function on your screen. I'm seeing that there are only 2 people logged on. Does either person want to provide any testimony? If so, please use the raise hand function. All right, Councilman Stokes, are you ready to proceed on to a vote on this legislation?
Yeah, I just have a question for Ms. Elaine DePietro. The gentleman from the equity office mentioned about adding hairstyle because that was not actually in the bill. So my question to Ms. Elaine, I would like to add that to it because if that's not going to be in there, this look like it's going to be a problem in terms of not having that in there.
I'm not quite sure about what the concern was there, because the definition is protective hairstyles means hairstyles that protect against split ends, knotting, and general damage, and also help retain the length of hair. So I'm not sure exactly what the difference is there. What is it?
May I comment?
Sure, Councilman.
I think style is very important. It's the first thing that's made sense to me as somebody that would have to make a judgment.
I know what's in the bill is already defined as hairstyles such as braid outfits and locks. I'm not sure what's missing, I guess is what I mean.
Well, we don't know today what's missing because we don't know what's going to be a style tomorrow.
So can we put our other hairstyles just to make it general?
It's up to the sponsor.
Yeah. If that's the problem, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I think other hairstyle were covered also.
Okay.
Can I ask a stupid question? What about color? I mean, some people have purple hair, orange hair, I mean, real orange hair. Is that included in these definitions?
I don't think it would be included in this definition. Why don't I look around the country and see what types of definitions they're applying, and see if I can get some broader language here to cover these terms.
And we could bring that in on second reader if the sponsor agrees to it?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll vote.
Okay, any other questions from the committee, any community members?
Hi, this is Kim Humphrey with DHR. I just wanted to emphasize the point about adding and other. I think that would meet our concern as well. Thank you.
So, Mrs. DePietro, how adding other, what is it that your office have to do to make sure we cover all your other and any
All
other?
I can do is do a quick look around the country to see how it's being defined in other type legislation of this type. And then I could shoot around to the committee members and anybody else who's interested, in people who've testified this today from the agencies, what I propose, and then if everybody's in agreement or they want to change it, they can do that, and we can then put it up on second reader as a second reader amendment on Monday's meeting.
Well, my question is, Sam, am I going to still take the vote, or are we going to recess it until we get this other information added to the bill?
Councilman, you can take a vote on the bill as it is, and then once Mr. Petro finds the language, you can introduce it as an amendment on second reader.
Okay, that's fine. Sam, real quick, is there any other persons, because I know some people wanted to call in, can you check and see if anybody that got on now that's want to testify real quick for me?
All right. There, I don't see any new people from when I had announced the first time, so I don't think that there's any call-in people. There are no call-ins. The only people that are on are the people who have the ability to raise their hand, and there are no hands raised.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, I have a quick question. I just want to make sure I understand what you would be proposing, or what Elena from the law department would be sending out, is just in regards to adding the language of general hairstyles. Is that correct?
That could be that, or I was going to try to see if we could. It's just regarding the definition of hairstyle, and there's two parts to it. I was going to look at New York City and some other places to see how they handled that in their legislation, and see if it was any more comprehensive, so that we can capture as much of what needs to be captured to prevent discrimination based on hairstyle or texture or whatever.
Well, Councilwoman McCray, also, if you're not finished, Councilwoman Mary Pat did bring up color.
Right, that's why I was going to try to.
So with respect to Councilwoman Murray Pat Clark, I just want to make sure that we're staying with the intent of the bill, which is hair texture and protective styles. So typically people by history aren't discriminated against by color as largely as they were by hair texture and protective styles. And that's the bill that I'm in support of. It's not that I have anything against anybody who may have blue hair, orange hair, whatever color hair. But this is in line with hair texture and protective hairstyles, and I want to make sure that I'm supporting that intent.
Well, the guidance in New York City says that it includes the right to maintain natural hair, treated or untreated hairstyles, such as locks, cornrows, twists, braids, bantu knots, fades, afros, and or the right to keep hair in an uncut or untrimmed state.
Okay, I think that's what Councilwoman McCray saying. She makes sure she votes on that particular.
So we don't want to get too far is what you're saying.
Yeah, so let's just say what we're talking about now, what Councilwoman McCray is talking about. So I'm clear. Thank you, Council.
I got you. Thank you.
Since we don't have any public testimony, I'm gonna go ahead. There are no amendments to consider this bill, not now anyway. There are amendments to consider this bill. Hello? Hello? Somebody
Yes.
says? Yes.
No,
Councilwoman?
no, I was
Okay.
just ready to vote. I'm getting
All
ready.
right. Okay. I'll take the vote on the hair discrimination bill here in the City Council. I am the Vice Chair of the Labor Committee, and my vote is yes. Councilwoman Shannon Sneed is absent. Councilwoman, I can't hear you, Councilwoman.
Councilman Stokes, you have to get
Move the bill.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Move the bill.
Is there a motion to move the bill? I apologize.
Yes, I move it.
Okay, motion made by Councilwoman Clark. Second by Councilwoman McCray. Thank you. Councilman Stokes is a yes. Councilwoman McCray? Councilwoman McCray?
I'm a yes. I'm having some technical issues.
That's all right. Councilwoman Clark?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Bill Henry?
Yes.
Councilwoman Shannon Sneed, who is the chair of it, is absent. So, okay.
This bill moves to second reader with a favorable vote of 4-0, and one person is out of the one person is absent. Councilman Stokes, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yes, sir. The bill passed 4-0.
Okay. All right. This hearing is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, everyone.